Hello, welcome to my Facebook Live. Today is Monday, June 6th, and today I'm also sharing with you my online card class that I do once a month. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up on my iPad so I can see the comments. And if you're joining, say hello. All right, I think I've got it. So this is the current hostess code that I have going, and this hostess code will end tomorrow. So if you would like to get the kit for this class that I'm working on today, all you have to do is spend $35 or more in my online store using this hostess code by end of day tomorrow, and I will get a kit for you and get it in the mail. You don't have to reach out to me. I'll get your address when you place an order, and I will tag you in the video so you can find it easily, and you can come back and watch the video again and remake the cards along with the replay. Okay, so today I am featuring, let me find my stamp set. Today I'm featuring the cup of tea for my monthly class. Okay, and I'm also pairing it with the 6x6 designer series paper that coordinates with it. It's called Tea Boutique. And then I'm also going to be doing a couple of cards with the Tea Boutique cards and envelopes. Okay, so all of these are part of the suite with this stamp set. I am going to be using the dies today. If you place an order and you get the kit in the mail, everything will be die cut for you except for one or two items that have to be stamped first, and I'm not allowed to stamp anything for you. So pretty much everything will be die cut. So the teacups and everything, that's kind of the great thing about this set is I can send you those die cuts. If you don't own this set and you don't decide to buy it, you can just use different sentiments that you have at home. Okay? So feel free to ask questions throughout my live today. Say hello. Let me know you're watching, where you're from. I did want to share, I haven't posted it yet, but I did draw a winner from my Facebook Live last week. Everyone that shared my video, I put them in a drawing to win this. And the winner is Margie Kaiser. So Margie, if you're watching, please private message me your mailing address, and I will get this in the mail for you this week. Okay. Hey Patsy, thanks for joining. What else? I will have a prize this week, and I forgot to get it. So go ahead and share my video. Each week I do a drawing for those that share my video. So you have to comment that you shared, because depending on your profile settings and privacy settings, it may or may not give me your name. Sometimes it just tells me that 5 people shared, but it only tells me 3 of those people's names. So if you want to be entered into the drawing, be sure to share my video and send me a comment that you shared it. Okay. Okay, so again, this is the current hostess code. I will post it when I post this video. You have until end of day tomorrow to place an order, $35 or more, and you'll get the kit to make the 4 cards I demonstrate today. If you spend $50 or more, you'll get the kit as well as my monthly tutorial bundle. So that comes by email, and that's a collaboration between me and several other demonstrators. Each month it has over 30 different projects in it. So this month I think it has 36. And that will come by email. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to share with you, if you do place an order and you get the kit comes like this. So it comes with all the pieces that you need. And then, like I said, I'll tag you in the video, and I'll include a little sheet that we'll share where you can watch the video, because I do put it on YouTube as well. So, but this is the first card we're making. today using this set. And this features the note cards and envelope. So these make really quick and easy cards, and it's nice because you have a matching envelope. Okay. So to do this first one, I'm going to pull out one of these, and what I've done is I've just die cut a rectangle with my rectangle dies. Okay, and then I die cut the teacup, the full one, out of a sheet that came out of the designer series paper. So this has all kinds of different designs, and a lot of these front ones have like tea kettles, there's lemons, more intricate designs, and then on the back side it's more of these solid image prints. And you can see that one kind of matches there. So the nice thing about this is they all coordinate. Okay, so we can put our envelope aside. Okay, so when you get these, they're already printed and they're already scored, so we just have to score it. My bone folder. Okay, and so I die cut a rectangle, and then I die cut my teacup out of that 6x6 designer series paper. You'll see that this side is the lemons. Okay, and I'm just going to place that on here. And then part of the dies in this set are this set of little hearts. And the nice thing is what Stampin' Up! Has started doing, which you won't find with a lot of other dies, is when there is a specific item that has multiples of something, like say flowers or something, they'll actually give you several dies. So rather than having to pass this through several times, I only had to pass it through once on my little scrap piece of cardstock, and I got 5 hearts. Okay, so I've already done that, so I have my little hearts here. Okay, and so we're going to go ahead and stamp this cup, and I am using this color here is the Starry Night, so that's the ink pad that I'm going to use. Okay, and this card we made Take Care of Yourself, so that is the stamp here. So this suite, this designer series paper and the note cards features a lot of the new in colors, so hopefully you were able to get those. Maybe you joined Stampin' Up! And were able to get them as part of the promotion last month, or maybe you're already a demonstrator and so you get to buy them at a discount. And maybe you're a customer and you got some hostess benefits or free gifts. Okay, so then I'm just going to put this all together. That's the only stamping we're going to do on this card. Okay, and I'm going to use dimensionals. And losing all my stuff here. Hey Maribel, thanks for joining us. I'm going to put some dimensionals along the edges on here. Okay, put that one there. Put this one here. Hi Pauline, thanks for joining us. Okay, so put that down, and then on the teacup I'm going to put some dimensionals, and I'm just going to put 2 at the top and put 1 at the bottom, and then I'm going to put 2 on the sides here. I'm not going to put 1 on the handle. I think that will be fine. Hopefully no one's too rough with the card. Okay, so then we're just going to stick that on like so, and then we're going to put on our little hearts. And I want to share a little technique that it's kind of handy when you have little pieces like this. Well, this one I might not need it, but So we have the little hearts, and I'm just using some liquid glue, and I'm just putting a little dot on there, and then I'm just kind of tucking these into the cup so it's like hearts are coming out of the cup. And I'm going to use my tool here. And use, this is the silicone mat. I'm going to put a little glue on there. That didn't quite work. Okay. So they're a little hard with my nails. My nails are a little long. Okay. Let's get a little glue. That there. That one down. I'm just going to put a little dot of glue right there and then stick that on. And there's our first card. Pretty quick and simple and easy, but really fun and really sweet. If you knew someone was sick and you wanted to send them a little flowers or a little gift. Okay. All right. And our next card going to be this one. So this is another pretty simple one. This one is, the base is not using one of those note cards. We're just going to use some cardstock. So regular half sheet of cardstock. Okay, so we'll start with that for our base, scored in half. Again, we're using some of that designer series paper from the tea suite. And this is the Sweet Sorbet cardstock. And so I just cut a square of that, and then we have a rectangle that's going over that. And then this is the Thanks, and I die cut this from the Amazing Thanks dies. Okay, so those are in the main catalog with another set, but I'm going to use them with this one. Okay, so for this card, let's go ahead and start with our piece of basic white, and we're going to stamp using the Memento ink because I'm going to color this with my blends. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp my teacup down here like so. Make sure you guys can see. Alright, and then I am going to stamp some greenery coming out of the top. So there is a stamp that has that on there. So I'm using Garden Green, and if you're wondering how I came up with these colors, I just pull them off of the back. So on the back of the designer series paper, it lists all the colors that are in the cardstock, and so that's how I can figure out what colors to use that will coordinate with this paper. Okay, so I don't have to try and guess what would look good. They already tell me. Okay, so we're going to just stamp that on top. We're going to give that a minute to dry. Now I'm going to color it with my blends, and I realized when I was making my sample right before I went live that one of my blends is messed up, and I realized, well, that was why this was on the counter, is because I need to get a replacement. But I'm going to go ahead and use it anyways, and I'm going to show you why. So this is Pool Party, and I have the light and the dark, and my light is pretty messed up. But it's going to work enough to give me just a light layer here in the background, and then I'm going to come in with my dark and color the leaves on here. Okay, So apologize that it's kind of messed up, but we're gonna make it work, okay? Because I don't have a replacement, and this is the color I wanted. So I'm just coloring the whole thing because I'm gonna be coloring in the flowers or these leaves on here the same color, just a darker shade. It's okay that I just color the whole thing, okay? So, and because this marker is like all messed up and pretty dried out, it's kind of giving different shades here and there, but I kind of like that. Okay, we're gonna make it work. Okay, and then I'm gonna come in with the darker color and the fine tip, and I'm just gonna color these leaves. And I think you can see how the darker, and you can even make it darker if you want. By going over it, you can build that color. That's the nice thing about the blends. Okay, so there's that, and then we're ready to assemble this. Okay, so I've scored my cardstock so that it's easy to fold in half, and I cut this just not a quarter, an eighth of an inch smaller than my base. Okay, and I'm just going to use some Seal Plus adhesive, and we'll put that down. Okay, and then our square is going to kind of go up to towards the top, and then our rectangle is going to go over it, and we're going to pop it up so that that square behind it is just barely peeking out. Okay, just gives us a hint of color. This is a good way to use up some of your scraps if you have a lot of little scrap pieces of paper. Let's see here. I have these strips I'm going to use for this. So these are the foam adhesive strips. I like using these when I'm layering pieces like this, so I don't have to use a million little dimensionals. I like all of Stampin' Up's adhesives, so I generally always have all of them on hand to use, and it just depends on the project. Okay, so we're gonna layer that like so. Okay, and then I'm gonna show you another trick with our mat here. So again, I'm gonna put a little dot of that, and then now you could use the fine tip glue pen, but I know a lot of people struggle with that because if you don't get the lid back on right away, it can dry out. And I tend to not use it when I'm doing my lives because that's when I always mess up and can't get the lid on and jeopardize it drying out or taking too long on my live. So I'm using the liquid glue here, and I wanted to show you, if you put it on your silicone mat, once it dries, it'll come right off of that. And you can use it to kind of rub your words in it to get a little of the adhesive. Another thing you can do is take a makeup sponge and just dab that on your words along here. So different ways to do it. If you're going to use the sponge, you might want to be sure to wash it after or rinse it out so that it doesn't get real hard. And you're not using a new sponge every time unless you have a ton of these and you just want to get rid of them. Okay, but so then we put our words. And the nice things with these is you can kind of turn them so that they're kind of angled. They don't have to be just straight. So see how we did that? So another quick and easy card using the cup of tea. Okay, So now my next card that I'm going to do is this one right here. So this one's a little more intricate, but it's not any more difficult. It uses more of the dies from the set. We're using the little tea bag and the lemon. Has some more colors on it. This one does use the note cards, so that makes that part a little quick and easy. Okay. So let me show you how we're going to do this one. So we'll start out with our note card. Okay, and then I've already die cut a circle, and this is using the new shapes dies where you get the circles, the kind of banners, and the squares. So this is one of the circles, and then these are the dies. So this is the tea paper, the 6x6 paper, tea boutique. And I'm just using this side, and then I did the coordinating cardstock with this layering piece. Okay, so this one here is the base, and then this one here is this layering piece, and it's in the same color. Okay, so we'll just poke these little pieces out real quick. Okay. So do any of you have this stamp set or this bundle yet? The cup of tea? And if so, have you used it a lot? Do you like it? I really like it. I've seen so many cute little gifts and things made with it. We do have a tea room here, so it's good to use for things like that, invitations and stuff like that. So I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so here's our base of our card. Again, we're using those note cards and envelopes, or cards. They're not note card size, they're regular size. Okay. And then we have our circle here, and we'll stamp our words on that. And this one, I think I'm going to say thank you. And on this one, I'm going to use the Orchid Oasis. Okay. So I'm just stamping that on my circle. I kind of have a smudge down here. I don't know if you guys can see it. So that's where I'm going to put my teacup. Okay. Maribel doesn't have it, but Patsy does. Well, hopefully, Patsy, this inspires you to pull it out. And Maribel, you know how to find the replay, so when you get it, if you need some ideas, you come back and watch. Okay, so that's all the stamping we're going to do on that one. Actually, I take that back. That's all the stamping in that color we're going to do on that one. Okay, so let's... we have this first piece. We have those. Now we need our lemon. So it does have a little lemon in there, which has some little dies. So this one cuts out the lemon, and this one you can actually cut out layering to put on top of the lemon. So with our daffodil, just gonna stamp the lemon like so. And when I first saw this, I thought these little pieces would be kind of tedious to cut out, but they're really not. You can place that right on there, and then you can place this right next to it and run that through the machine all at once, okay? And then through the magic of live demonstrations, I already have a little piece here, okay? So this is the one one of the items, this in the tea bag, that if you get the kit, I can't stamp them first for you. So if you get the kit and you don't have this stamp set, you can just improvise with something. So I can die cut the cup for you, and I can die cut the circle, and you can use any sentiment that you have, but I will only be giving you a little piece of yellow and a little piece of white for this. And if you don't have this set, you can just improvise. I don't know, cut a star out or something. Use something you have at home, okay? Okay, so there's that. And then the one other little thing we need to do is the tea bag, which is right here, okay? So with that, I have a little scrap of basic white cardstock, okay? And then I had my little stamp here. I can't seem to see it. Oh, it's right here. Little stamp, okay? You could also leave the tea bag white if you wanted to. But this just kind of makes it stand out a little. So there's the tea bag. And then this bundle, the dies, it does come with 2 dies for the little tea bag. Okay, so we're going to put one on the tea bag and we're going to put one right next to it, and I'll show you why. Okay, and you run that through your die cut machine. And then what you have is you have this little piece here and this little piece here. Okay, and the reason we want 2 is because we are going to use this to put our string from our tea down into, and I'll show you how we do that. Okay, so for these, to glue these together, again, I'm just going to put some glue on my mat here, and I'm going to turn this over, and I'm just going to get a little bit of glue all around on that, and then I can put it down on my lemon. And it doesn't have so much glue that it's going to seep out, but it has enough that it will stay on there. Okay, and same thing with this one. Might need a little more. So you could use any sponge, but I wouldn't use something that you're going to want to use again. So like, if you use a sponge dauber, you may not be able to use it again for ink. So just be mindful of that. Like, this is the one purpose for this. Okay, and then we'll lay that on top. Okay. All right, and then for our tea bag, we're just going to take some of the linen thread. I'm just going to cut off a piece. And I have these mini dimensionals. These ones are black. It doesn't matter if you have black or white. And I'm going to put one down. Okay, can you see that? Am I up enough? One down, and I'm going to put the end of my linen thread right there, okay? And then I'm going to place this right on top, like so, okay? And so then there's our little tea bag, okay? And then we can take that, and depending on how much, like how far we want it to go, we just bring it around to the back of our teacup and put a dimensional back there, and that will keep it in place. Okay, isn't that neat? So that's why you have 2 of that one die, so you can cut it, you know. And it would be easy just to run it through twice, but it's even easier to only have to run it through once, right? So do that, and then you can cut off this excess because we don't need it. Okay, so there's those. It's going to sit there for a minute. So I'm going to stick this on with some liquid glue. Just like so, and then I have my cup, and I'm going to stick that, I'm going to hide that little blemish that I have there. Oops, I left a little piece in there, but that's okay. No one will notice. And then I'm going to use another little dimensional to put on the back here and stick that kind of where I want it. So I kind of want it to curl a little more, so I think if we twirl it, I think that's undoing it. Let's keep going this way. Okay. So maybe that was a little too much. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to use little dimensionals on the back of my lemon. And then that's just going to be laying right there. And then that's where I was going to stop, but I felt like it was a little too boring. So I pulled out a punch, because some of the other cups have like greenery coming out of them. So I pulled out this punch here, and then I just got some of the Parakeet Party and punched some of that, and then stuck that in my cup. Okay. So with these, I just use a little glue and stick it down in there like so. I don't necessarily want it to look like it's coming out of the cup, so I purposely on my other one, I put it kind of behind the cup. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's our third card. And then we already have a matching envelope. All right. Okay. So our last card, I wanted to do something a little different. I like vintage kind of feel things, and I saw an idea and I thought, okay, I'm going to switch it up a little. I'm going to switch up the colors, okay? So for our last card, we're doing this one. Okay, so this one is on the crumb cake. It's on the crumb cake cardstock. And I did die cut a cup from the designer series paper, and I liked this one because it kind of reminded me of, like, you know, China that has the pretty flowers on it. And here I had a scrap of the linen paper, so I don't know if you've used the linen paper or not. I've had some for a while and hadn't used it, so I pulled it out last week, and I really love it. It's really easy to work with, and you'll kind of see how we're going to make it look old like that. And then this is some new ribbon out of the annual catalog. This is called the Natural Finish ribbon, and you get 10 yards of this. There's a ton of ribbon on here, and this ribbon, it looks like it would be really stiff, but it's not. It's really, you could do a lot of different things with this. So I really love this. I think this is going to be a favorite. Okay, so for this card, I wanted it to look a little distressed. Okay, so I pulled out, I have my crumb cake, and I have my earlier espresso inks. Okay. And then I pulled out some sponge daubers. Let's see which one is, okay. So one I'm using with the crumb cake, and then another I'm using with the fresh freesia. And so this is one of the colors on the back of that cardstock, and that's actually what this purple is, okay? So the cup looks, I mean, it looks okay by itself on there. But I wanted it to stand out a little more, so I'm just putting a little color with a sponge dauber all around the edges. Okay. So doing that, it's just going to make it stand out a little more. And I might come in with this crumb cake and kind of put that on there too to make it kind of, it's very white. It's very white and clean, and it doesn't look old and vintagey. So I'm coming in with some crumb cake on here. I didn't do that on this one, but I'm doing it on this one. So, okay. So do that. And then on our card, we're going to come in and we're just going to kind of do the edges here. Kind of make it look worn and dirty and old. Just kind of pulling that color around. Okay. All right, and then here is our piece of linen. Okay. So the linen has a self-adhesive backing to it, so that when we peel this off, it'll be sticky. Okay. And the linen, it is a fabric on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of give it a little color so that, again, it's not so white. And the color doesn't have to be real even, right? Because does anything really get dirty evenly? No. Okay, so I'll put a little of that on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrunch it up. It's like worn. Okay. And then again, I'm going to come in with my sponge dauber and I'm going to put some more color that maybe it'll pick up on those raised parts. Okay, like that. Okay, so we have that piece. And then we're still going to use these two ink colors so we can put our fresh freesia away. And let's see here. Okay, so we're going to stamp the background. And so to do that, we are using this little stamp that comes out of the cup of tea. And we're using the crumb cake, so doing crumb cake on crumb cake, and we're just stamping this randomly on our card. Okay. And the nice thing about this is if you get a spot or halo or something, it's okay, because it's meant to look kind of, you know, damaged and dirty. And okay, so I think that's good. I'm kind of leaving the center because that's kind of where my focal point is going to be, so I don't really need to stamp all in there anyways. Okay, and then so with my linen paper, it goes across the whole card, so you could do that if you wanted. Okay, I'm going to cut it down a little, make it a little shorter. And then I'm going to kind of put a banner look here. So cut into it like so. Okay, and so that's going to kind of go right there. And then I'm going to have my ribbon go across here. Okay, so you'll see that the backing is already starting to come off because we scrunched it up, but you just pull it off like so. And I'm not going to straighten it out because I want it to look kind of wrinkled and stuff like that. So I'm just going to gently put it on like so. Okay. And then I cut a piece of this ribbon and I'm going to tie this around. Okay. And I'm going to tie it over this way and tie it in a knot. It is like it's not stiff, so if you wanted to tie a bow, you could. I don't have enough ribbon here to do so. The other thing that's nice about it is because of how easy it is to work with, it's easy to tie a good knot. Here, I don't always get a good looking knot, and with this ribbon it's pretty easy. So if that's something you look for in ribbon, this is a great one. It also does this you can pull the ends and make it look kind of worn, you know. So you could leave it like that if you wanted. mess with it with your fingers. So there's that. I'm gonna cut this shorter. I don't like it so long. And then we can just do that, right? And kind of trim that up. Okay. And then we can put our teacup on. Actually, let's stamp our words first. So the words I'm using are these little ones here. It says, "Thank you for your friendship." It's just real small, and I'm doing it, it's real small print, which is another reason I kind of really like this stamp set, is it's got a lot of really small print, which is kind of fun if you can read it. But so I'm gonna stamp just right here. Okay. And then I can put my ink away and get all my mess here cleaned up. Okay. And then we'll put our teacup on. So we can put our teacup like right there. All right, and I'm just going to use dimensionals. And then we'll finish it off with some more of this linen thread. So this, I'm just going to do a double bow. So I just pull it double like so, and then I tie a bow. And I want this one to be kind of small because it's a little dainty teacup, right? Okay. And then I'm just going to put a little dollop of glue right there. And put that on. And a sweet and simple card. Now, if you wanted to, you could dress it up with more embellishments, but I'm just going to leave this one like so. So if you like vintage or old things, hopefully you like that card. So those are my cards today. I did want to share with you some of the cards that we made in Card Club. So Card Club is for my local gals. We meet once a month. It's usually the last weekend of the month. I have 3 sessions. One on the Friday at 1 p.m., Friday at 6 p.m., and then Saturday at 10 a.m. So this is one of the cards we made. So again, it's using that tea set, and we use the Ink-Color. So this is some of the Ink-Color Designer Series paper and the little dots that comes with it. And this is one of the doilies that's in the Occasions catalog. It's actually, and it's just turned over to give us that white. And then here's another one we did. This uses a different stamp set for the sentiment, but here we use the greenery and then we die cut it out. Okay. So I hope you like the cards today. I will pull them out again. Also, let's see what else. I'll post the hostess code if you'd like to place an order. You by the end of day tomorrow, I will send you this kit in the mail, and you can watch the replay and make the cards along with me. The nice thing about this one is a lot of these are die cuts, and there's not a whole lot of stamping, so you could use any stamp set that you have at home. But that's all I have for you today, so thanks for joining me. Join me again next Monday, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, same place, and I'll be sharing some new projects with you. Be sure to share my video and comment shared, and I will pick a winner on Thursday for some goodies to get in the mail. Okay. Thanks for joining. Have a great evening. Bye.